Hello, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie, and today we're going to do something that some of you are going to hate. Some of you are going to be cheering me on, but it's Reckless Planner Massacre time. I've been flirting with it ever since I got this B6Slim common planner, and today I'm in the mood to go ahead and do it. I don't think there are enough downsides to stop me, except for the fact that it's a little scary. So the backstory here is I bought this B6Slim horizontal compact, but really what I wanted to be released in 2025 were B6Slim horizontal inserts, and that wasn't an option. So I bought the compact, and it's got 119 blank pages at the back, and that would be perfect for dailies and stuff, but I don't think I'm going to use them because, and I haven't talked about this, I was going to do a broader video, but let's just hint at it that I'm going to have a separate notebook journal here for my dailies and sketchbook, and so I'm hoping to do that in these inserts, not in the book. And I'll talk more about that soon. But if it were just these things, I'd leave the pages. This is a totally fine thing. But I am planning on working in this Hobonichi weeks in as well, and all of this together, even before I started putting anything in it, is a little heavy. And so I think if I take out, this chunk of pages, we're gonna gain myself some weight. It's probably not. This is still a little heavier than what I'm taking out, but I think it's a substantial reduction, improvement. So it's a little scary, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's early in the morning and I'm full of coffee, and this is what I want to do. I spent my morning stickering what I wanted to do, and I don't know what I'm going to use these pages for in this context, but if I take them out, I can actually use them in my inserts. So I'm going to do it, and if I feel regret, well, so be it. So what I've done here is I've found where the break between signatures is. In a 2025, yours should be in about the same place. It's between page 8 and page 9. And that's where, so the way signatures work is that they're folded sections of paper. I think there's something like 32 or something in one of these. Don't quote me on that. But you can find the place where one folded section is next to a different folded section. This time it was a little harder to find than sometimes, but you can tell by looking at the pages and seeing which way they want, they're folded. And when you find one where one page is folded that way and that page is the other folded that way, that's what you're looking for. And I did this to I'm gonna wait until I'm not chatting to play with the knife. I did this in my passport planner and it worked decently well. I only took one section out. Here it looks like I'm going to be taking out 4 sections, and I'm going to keep all of those together for now. I don't know what I'm going to do about the cover yet. This is that's the reckless part of this Reckless Planner Massacre. So the way I have my stuff set up, you can't actually see the cover. I've got this pencil board and my clear cover, but I do kind of need the structure of a cover of some sort to slide into the clear cover. My current thought is I'm just going to cut these 4 sections out, and I'm going to see how bad the back cover fits in that context. If it's fine, I'm just going to leave it. If it's horrifying, then we will take next steps. It's not going to be the prettiest final thing at the end of the year, but I might do something. I might rebind it at the end of the year, or I have some ideas. Since it's the same size as my journaling inserts, like a way of combining them all together. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is So this is held together, these sections are held together by the sewing. Let me see if I can find you a like in between. So at the middle, so we're in between sections. At the middle of a section, you'll even see the sewing. The backstory here is that I've done some bookbinding, so I know how this stuff works. You know, this one is fancier than the ones I've made myself, but here you can see the stitching, maybe. It's white on white. And so these books are held together by stitching that holds these signatures together, and then some glue that like just keeps them like nicely together. So it's the stitching that provides most of the strength, and then the glue that like kind of keeps it pretty looking. So when I don't glue my sections together, they kind of have gaps in between the sections. All right, that wasn't the straightest line of all time. And then I'm, you know, will the parts that I'm keeping stay together once I've cut the strings? I'm hoping so. I think the glue will keep it like from unraveling, and I can always add more glue. I'm just doing another pass here. I managed to like get it open. Okay, and then what I'm going to do on this other side, the way these are attached is there's this fly leaf here. That's the like end paper that's glued to the Tomoe River paper. And I'm just going to kind of separate those. That's what's keeping it to the cover. And then we might need another, we might need to do another pass with the knife here. Just gonna lightly go across here. So I'll link Shauna's video, my friend Shauna, who started the phrase Reckless Planner Massacre, and she actually was doing something quite similar to this. Yeah, look, here we go. Just where she was pulling out like a big chunk of pages to like rebind them for something else. So these are mostly separated. I just need a little more cutting. I hadn't gotten through all the threads. Glue. I'm sure you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just following it by eye. Looks like I cut through a little bit of the cover, which is too bad. But yeah, I'm just cutting to like kind of help the glue separate where I want it to, instead of, you know, tearing. There we go. So I did cut a little hole in my cover. It's not actually that noticeable. I bet if I put some like glue on the inside, it would kind of hold itself shut. But actually the back cover doesn't like fit. I mean, it doesn't fit great on here without it, but it's not like so terrible that it's like going to cause me anxiety, I don't think. So what I'm gonna do, let's put it back in here and see. So, you know, it's not pretty. I knew it wasn't gonna be pretty. That's, if you want to keep your notebooks pretty, don't cut them up. Pro tip. You never would have come up with that without me. I know that. Let's put the front cover in. We can always switch to putting the back cover in if that makes it feel less ugly. But I think I'm gonna stick with what I had originally planned. In this context, like the spine is really like not visible. Yeah, I think that's fine with me. If I wanted to buy some bookbinding tape, I could also do that. Again, so actually a thing I could do, but it's going to be a little weird, is that I could put some glue on this end paper and glue it the way the original one was. It's not exactly going to be in the same place, but I could do that. That would kind of pinch out some of that. It might be a little weird. So if I wanted to totally rebind it, which I might do at the end of the year, what I would do is exactly the same procedure to take that backside off, you know, split the end paper and the fly leaf, and then mostly it's just yank, cut a little. Then I'd have a whole, like a text block. In bookbinding, you would start with what is essentially this, and then you'd attach a cover. So, and honestly, it's the making the text block that's hard in bookbinding. So it would be really easy to rebind this nicely. But I'm going to wait until the end of the year, I think, to do that, because it would probably be adding weight and whatever, and who knows what's going to happen. And I'm just going to wait for that, at least towards the end of the year. But I'm going to, just out of curiosity, go weigh this and see how much I removed. Okay, so this packet of pages was 36 grams. This Hobonichi Weeks was 135, so about a third of the weight of this. But I, you know, in an everyday carry, all the weight counts, and I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. I didn't have any intention for those pages in that book. These inserts are made, this right now is with the Midori B6Slim inserts, which aren't exactly the same size as these, but my plan is to use these in these journals. There's something like 30-something pages in here, and so I'm going to be using these pages as inserts for my journal. So the paper is not going to go to waste. It's just going to be put where I more want to have it, instead of in my planner book. So obviously, I could be journaling in my planner. I just didn't want to this year. I wanted it to be separate. I'm doing some weird things here with some watercolor paper and whatever. We'll get into that another time. But so these are going to become journal pages. My planner is a little slimmer, my B6 Ultra Slim, and then I'm going to add this Hobonichi Weeks in here, and this is going to be my everyday carry. So I'm sorry if I made you just like shudder and scream, but if you are also in this scenario, hopefully you found it helpful, and if you just love cheering on a reckless planner massacre, this is for you. Bye, friends.